Hello, everyone. I'm Kinga Ferguson, Executive Director of Ars Lyrica Houston. Welcome to the special French edition of Concert and Conversations. Today, we'll be exploring Ars Lyrica's French connections in our cosmopolitan city as we prepare for the Bastille Day celebrations this coming Tuesday. For this special occasion, Ars Lyrica collaborates with Rienzi, the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, on a virtual broadcast, which will include a concert by Ars Lyrica of historical French music, some virtual tours in French and in English of the museum, and some other fun activities. To put ourselves in a mood for those French festivities, I've invited a special guest today and a dear friend of mine, Yvonamor Palix. Yvonamor is a French arts curator, and she has 30 years of experience as a French art gallery owner in Paris, Mexico City, and now in Houston. And Yvonamor has been a wonderful collaborator, opening doors for us and facilitating many important collaborations with the French Consulate, Texas French Alliance for the Arts, and other French organizations, so we can promote our French concerts amidst the French communities here in Houston. So welcome, Yvonamor. It's a great pleasure to have you here with us today. Please tell us about your art gallery and the French art we can all discover there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kinga, for that lovely introduction. And welcome everyone to Yvonamor Palix Fine Arts Gallery, where you're all welcome to come and visit our exhibitions by appointment at this time. And we will be happy to greet you in small groups. Today, I'd like to mention just a few things. I was very honored recently to be the curator for the International Art Biennial of Houston, which led me to encounter the works of many different artists. And we wanted to exemplify the variety, the diversity of this wonderful city. And so we had a very strong presence of French artists. And on this occasion, close to our Bastille Day, and with the subject of the Baroque, I thought it would be very opportune to show a little bit of the work of this contemporary artist. He's a contemporary art photographer, a young man by the name of Nicolas Sibertin. Nicolas Sibertin is an artist that has strongly inspired by the Baroque period, the Baroque art, the Baroque music. And to define a little bit what Baroque is, if you are not so familiar with it, we tend to use that term quite liberally, and justly so, when we say that things are very exuberant and very sensual and full of emotion and bringing a lot of images through the senses. This is what Baroque music, art, and even architecture was meant to create in the viewers. Now, the word Baroque is an Italian, there are two definitions, but the primary definition that is used mostly in the arts is coming from the Italian, which means logic. So when we start to look at what Baroque, the Baroque period started, it came after the Renaissance and closely after Mannerism, where Mannerism was a little bit more constrained and a little bit more methodical. And yet, although Baroque illustrates a lot of logic, it illustrates it in a very voluptuous and beautiful and exuberant manner. And so the works of Nicolas Sibertin illustrate this because although he's a photographer and using a very contemporary medium, he is inspiring himself by old masters. And so he visits various museums throughout the week, and he sits there and observes the crowd. And he observes them until finally you have a moment that he captures with his camera. And it's a moment that he captures in a very unique way. The crowd cannot be staged. These are not models. These are not people that he knows. These are random people of the crowd that he captures at a particular moment when they are visiting perhaps the Louvre or le Musée d'Orsay. He's using mostly the museums in Paris. And so in these two photographs that you see behind me, you have, for example, The Wedding of Cana by Le Veronese, that is in the Louvre. It's actually in the Le Salon de l'État, which is the state's room, and it's located to the right of where you would find the Mona Lisa. So if you ever wish to go to Louvre to actually see this painting, you know exactly where to find it. And so you have here The Wedding of Cana, and the crowd looking at it and looking at the diverse paintings. And so all of a sudden he captures that moment with his camera, and the public becomes part of that painting. This is what we call it in France, a moment figé, a captured moment. Now, obviously now with our cell phones, it is very easy to take a photograph spontaneously. However, in this case, the moment has to be so precise because the perspective and the distance between the public and the painting has to be absolutely perfect in order to capture this and create a new piece where you have the painting and you have the public becoming part of that painting. This is not a digital type of work that you can enhance. It's not a collage. It's actually just a moment figé. And so the moment of these two art periods, contemporary photography with the art of this past, epoch, is fascinating to see them fuse through the technology, but also through the vision of an artist. And that's where I always tell people, analyze the artwork, not only see it for what it is, technically and aesthetically and subject matter, but also see what the artist was intending. And that's what's fascinating in conceptual artists' work today. This other piece that you might see over here is another painting that is found in Le Musée d'Orsay. And this painting is titled The Juried Selection. So here you have a scene where you have all of these great curators and art critics doing a juried selection for some art. And as you can see in the art piece itself, you have this young man that randomly walked up to the painting to see it, to observe it, to analyze it, and he's captured in this painting. He never knew he was becoming part of this great old master painting. So it's a very interesting process that Nicolas Sibertin offers us today. His photographs are large format, and he usually presents them in a very elegant and very minimalistic manner with a white frame, very simple, maybe a shadow box frame. But for the International Biennial, we decided that it would be an interesting and Baroque element to frame these in these ornate gold frames to contrast with the contemporaneity of the subject and style of the photography, and to relate it to the past. So here you have an example of one of the artists that we are exhibiting at the gallery. And we would love to have the public come in and discuss this with us.
That's wonderful, Yvonamor. I remember the painting on the right when I saw it at the International Biennial that you curated at the Spring Studios last fall. And I noticed it from the far, and I thought, you know, what does a Baroque painting doing here in this contemporary art exhibition? And coming closer, I realized it's a photograph, but the saturated colors, the composition of faces, it all looked like the Baroque painting that we are admiring. So this is fascinating, and thank you for this introduction, and thank you for, you know, combining the contemporary art with the Baroque element. This is so relevant for us. Thanks for that. So how can we enjoy this art safely in your gallery? Tell us.
Well, we have recently taken measures to keep hosting our visitors. Of course, we prefer appointments and small groups, but we can easily host people at their convenience and with all safety measures to visit this exhibition. which is actually going to be closing for a couple of weeks, but we will be opening again late July, early August, and we will make sure to give you those exact dates. So if people wish to come and visit the gallery, we can host them. We are also hosting some outdoor events on a deck that we've built in order for people to enjoy some outdoor um, performing arts events.
That's wonderful. And I have to say that our audiences, our circus audiences, it's a little secret, but when you make an appointment to view the exhibition, you will also find a great bottle of wine. And maybe if you are lucky, some exquisite French appetizers. So, you know, make an appointment for August with Yvonamor, and I guarantee you, you will enjoy it immensely. Speaking of which, you Yvonamor, are a great connoisseur of French art and culture, but also of the French cuisine and wine. So tell us, you know, how can we enjoy the Bastille Day at home, but still having this French atmosphere? Can we order some food or wine that you would recommend and make the celebration very French?
That's a wonderful question because it's so opportune. Our Bastille celebration is coming up on 14th of July. And this year, of course, it's taken a different kind of program. Usually the French consulate does a magnificent event for the whole Houston public, not only for the French citizens. And this year, they've actually done something quite different, very original, and we're very much looking forward to this. They've created, during the day, an outdoor car rally. And they will be showcasing all of our wonderful French restaurants that are located in Houston. You can find a list of these on their website of the French Consulate General website. And they will tell you the times and the locations. And I believe there's going to be some door prizes and a lot of fun for the whole family, with a lot of safety and consideration, because you will be doing this through the comfort and the safety of your own car. That is one thing that's taking place during the day. Of course, being a bon vivant that I am, I would not hesitate to suggest all of my wonderful favorite restaurants and places where I get my supplies and where we indulge. And this year, we're actually going to order food from Artisan's Restaurant with Chef Jacques Fox. And he's going to be making some special menu, of a very special French menu for anyone that is missing France or would like to discover some of these wonderful culinary delights. So we're going to be having a series of food explorations with my family. So we've decided that we're going to order food from several places, and one of them being Artisans restaurants created by Chef Jacques Fox, and you can contact them directly if you wish to pick up your order as well. Another restaurant that we are going to be ordering food from, and who currently is our go-to restaurant here in the Heights, where we have our gallery, and it's right across the street from our gallery. So I want to call it almost like what we call in France our cantine, which is kind of our everyday restaurant. And this is Maison Pucha. And Maison Pucha is Maison Pucha Bistro is another wonderful restaurant where they serve the most exquisite French recipes, very authentically and precisely created. And they have several menus. So if you want to have a more casual and light lunch, for example, you can go there. If you want to have a more elaborate and sophisticated evening dinner with amazing wines, that's also a wonderful place to go to. And they also have the takeout. So that's another place that I highly recommend. They also have, as all these wonderful restaurants that I'm mentioning, spacious seating and all of the health compliances today. But another thing that I am doing this year is ordering some meringues, blue, white, and red. In France, we say bleu, blanc, rouge for the flag. And the United States, it's red, white, and blue. So, you know, it's going to be a combination of these three colors. Meringues from Wild Thyme, home chef, which is run by Emmanuel de Naclara, one of our wonderful chefs here in Houston, that actually makes a lot of cooked meals, and she delivers to you, and wonderful for parties and events. So we are going to be doing a little bit of that. And we have a good stock of our favorite wines that come from our favorite wine distributor here in Houston, who actually are living between Bordeaux and Houston. And it's called BCI Wines, Bonete Wines. And of course, the wine that we will be drinking is Libération, France Libération wine, which is made by the Bonete family and distributed here in Houston. And that I believe you can get at Specs, or many, many restaurants carry their wines now. And they're absolutely fantastic and very reasonably priced. And lastly, I would like to mention the French Farm, because the French Farm is a place that distribute wonderful French products, not only to restaurants and stores, but twice a year they have an open door of their warehouse, I'm sorry. And their warehouse is something magical. And this is run by a French woman named Gisèle Oriot, who carries the most exquisite products, not only from France, but from other places, primarily European, and exquisite delicacies. So I have my little stock of wonderful mustards and vinegars and all kinds of things that I make my French recipes with. And including, I have some wonderful French lavender honey from Provence that I get at the French Farm. Anyway, we have wonderful places here in Houston that do amazing things, and many more good restaurants, but these happen to be the ones that I have a strong taste for, and I would love for you to discover and enjoy.
Well, my mouth is watering right now, and so thank you for whetting our appetite for this French celebration. We'll be sure to include links to those recommended places in our broadcast, so people can comment, ask questions, and also maybe ask you for more recommendations. You're a great resource, Yvonamor. Thank you for that. So with that, I would like to again invite you to Yvonamor's art gallery. It's called Arctique. It's located in the Heights. We'll include a link momentarily as well. And also to our broadcast this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. It will be broadcasted live through our channels, Facebook and YouTube, and also on Ars Lyrica's website. So please join us for those festivities. And as Yvonamor mentioned earlier, you could enjoy also Bastille Day celebrations through the consular page. We'll be including those links as well. So thanks again. I can't wait to visit your gallery soon. Thank you for giving us a glimpse into the French arts and culture, presenting your paintings. And with this, vive la France! Let's celebrate and let's see each other soon.
Thank you so much. One last little comment I'd like to make. If you are missing France or would like to initiate your children or yourself to the French language, I highly recommend that you explore another one of our wonderful French associations in Houston. It's called EFGH, Education Française Greater Houston. And you can initiate your children to these courses. They're doing both online or hoping to go back to their classrooms next fall. And they also have classes for the parents, for those who wish to initiate themselves to French or to better their French. And with that, I'd like to thank you so much, Kinga, for this wonderful opportunity. Ars Lyrica is the link of music and the culture of all of these wonderful periods. And we're so thankful to have you in Houston. The arts keep us alive and they keep us well. So thank you. And with that, I want to say bon appétit and vive la France.
Vive la France!